It is unconscionable the way that the Senate operates. It's fundamentally undemocratic. And now what it's doing is that it is allowing the stripping of people's voting rights across the country. We're in a crisis. 19 states have passed over 33 laws to limit or restrict the right to vote in the United States of America.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez stopped by Morning Joe to talk about Senator Joe Manchin's recent refusal to vote for Build Back Better, as well as the fundamental ineffectiveness of the Senate itself. She also raised the alarm on voter suppression laws that are being passed all around the country.
And I think what's extremely important is that we really need to start creating an environment of pressure, very similar to the filibuster, where now you don't even need to talk to engage a filibuster, but you just need to threaten it. But we really need to create a governing environment in the United States Senate, make it tough, don't go on vacation, come back, call the vote, have to stand in front of your constituents and say, no, I'm going to take dollars, I'm going to take the food out of your kids' mouths, make him take that vote. They made us take the vote for the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It was a tough vote. It wasn't easy. And you know, we have to stop giving people get out of jail free cards. Enough.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez made excellent points about how fundamentally undemocratic the United States Senate truly is. One of the biggest points that she made, and the one I find most important, is how people in the Senate simply don't get held to account. Now, this can be said about all chambers of the government, whether it's federal or state or local, but specifically the Senate, they call it the place where legislation goes to die for a reason. Let's talk about Kyrsten Sinema, how the other week I pointed out how she's the only Democrat in the entire party who doesn't want to do anything about easing the loopholes for the conservation tax that allows people to set out certain portions of their land to not be developed upon. Wealthy and corporations take advantage of this loophole that cost taxpayers $9.2 billion alone in 2018. Now, why is Kyrsten Sinema doing this? Why is she not being held to account? Because she knows that she can get a really, really nice paying job as a lobbyist in all sorts of industries because of what she does. Why doesn't Joe Manchin get held to account? Why didn't Lindsey Graham get held to account? Why doesn't Mitch McConnell get held to account? Because the Senate is not a place where legislation goes to get passed. And so the overall culture simply keeps everything in a deadlock because there's no repercussions for anything. You no longer have to argue for hours and hours on the floor when you do a filibuster. You just have to make the threat of it. And then, when does anyone ever have 60 plus people in the Senate? Hardly ever. And so this makes the American government fundamentally inefficient. Fundamentally inoperable. And this is really, really what we need to focus on, because if we don't do anything about the Senate and how it works, whether that be eliminating the filibuster or making it so people have to argue on the floor again, then change simply won't come.